brutal, stylish movies full of grotesque violence and lavish visuals. That's Giallo. This unique Italian genre mixes horror, mystery, and art. In this video, 7 must-watch Giallo movies for horror fans. Blood and Black Lace is a stylized thriller by Mario Bava, marking the birth of the Italian Giallo genre. This vibrant film set a new trend in European horror and thrillers. After Bava's success, a wave of similar detective thrillers followed, where maniacs always wore leather gloves and women's bodies were brutally dispatched in the most savage ways. Bava transformed the ordinary feeling of fear into an aesthetic experience. The killer hunts his victims amid lavish sets and fashionable studio interiors, while the color filters, lovingly used by the director, add a mystical atmosphere to the night scenes. Bava masterfully proved that even second-rate cinema can be aesthetically valuable. The play of light and shadow in Bava's thriller recalls Italian Mannerist painting and creates a whimsical, eerie mood. Dario Argento's directorial debut is a quintessential film that set many parameters for subsequent Giallo films. From the intricate title, reminiscent of cheap pulp fiction, to the story itself, a tale of a chance tourist caught up in a series of unpredictable events involving the activity of a serial killer. These are the stylistic codes that define the genre. The dark streets of Rome, fashionable interiors, brutal murder scenes filmed with deliberate vulgarity and artistry, and the soundtrack by Ennio Morricone, a composer who would collaborate with many Giallo directors. Lucio Fulci's film can rightfully be considered the most exotic Giallo. Instead of the usual formulaic twists, Fulci's movie stands out with a tightly woven detective plot that plays on the whodunit, a favorite formula of Agatha Christie's novels. Lizard in a woman's skin breaks away from the typical Giallo pattern of counting bodies and focuses on a single specific murder. With dizzying chases up spiral staircases, a cult of the body, and dynamic editing, Fulci adds a touch of psychedelia and Freudian themes, which completely set the film apart from both its predecessors and successors in the genre. After 6 Women for the Murderer, Bava stayed true to his genre and stylistic instincts with A Bay of Blood, another Giallo film, this time about a group of teenagers who, by unfortunate chance, find themselves trapped in an abandoned building with a killer on the loose. The dark mood that intensifies the screen suspense, inventive cinematography, and the staging of the murders make A Bay of Blood one of Bava's most notable directorial achievements and paved the way for the slasher genre. Many scenes from this film would later be recreated in Friday the 13th, sometimes even shot for shot. A mysterious thriller from Aldo Lotto, heavily influenced by the aesthetics of Giallo, with one key difference. The action is set not on the picturesque streets of Italy, but in the city of Prague. The story follows a journalist trying to unravel the mysterious disappearance of his girlfriend, with the plot gradually taking unexpected twists, leading the viewer through a conspiracy, a mystical cult with orgiastic rituals, and a somnambulistic nightmare atmosphere. In Lotto's film, Prague is as absurd and enigmatic as it is in the novels of Franz Kafka. Perhaps that's why Short Night of Glass Dolls does without stylized bloodshed. The suffocating nightmare atmosphere and electric shock conclusion do the job instead. A brutal Italian thriller from Sergio Martino, Torso continues the traditions of Giallo. It's a typical genre story about students being murdered by a serial killer using a mysterious red and black scarf and a saw. Martino pays close attention to the elements central to Italian Giallo. Close-ups of screaming and agonizing women, the naked and excessively eroticized body, and murder scenes filmed with brutal violence. It's no wonder that Torso, alongside Bava's A Bay of Blood, is considered one of the key precursors to the slasher genre. Among the many Giallo films directed by Argento, Deep Red stands out as perhaps his most stylistically expressive and cohesive work. The murder of a psychic by an unknown maniac leads an American pianist and a journalist to conduct their own investigation into the death. This straightforward plot, reminiscent of the events in The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, Argento's debut film, is presented in entirely new shades. Much of this is thanks to the soundtrack by the rock band Goblin. The band's work gave the torturous thriller the tone of an art house action film. The murder scenes became even more brutal, the events more unpredictable and fast-paced, and the blood flowing from the body almost indistinguishable from paint. Deep Red is rightly regarded as the pinnacle of Italian Giallo, largely due to Argento's distinctive style, which here shows his maturity and sharp grasp of the genre.